Hey guys, welcome to Module 7. This is just going to be a real short overview of the Project 3 assignment for this week and what some of the basic criteria are for this assignment so that you make sure you are on the right track. So this week for Module 7, what you're going to be looking at here in your Project 3 submission is you're going to go back and look at the influence of the media on the field of criminal justice. So you're going to go back and look at your Module 4 writing assignment, your 4-2 writing assignment, and you're going to pick the same case as you did before because you've already done the workup for that particular case. So in that 4-2 assignment, you summarize the case, you look at some of the main legal issues, what are the points that were associated with the case. So you have a good understanding of that particular case. So you don't need to go back and reinvent the wheel. All right. So again, we're going to be working off of these 4 cases here, and you've already selected one for that previous assignment. All right. So the things you need to pay attention to for this particular assignment are the number of words required for each of the critical elements. All right. And it's spelled out here in each of these 5 sections. And then again, you need to carefully make sure that you address each of the critical elements and the subsets. Okay, so for example, in number 1, it says in 75 to 100 words, craft a brief summary of a criminal case in which the media had an impact. So again, it's going to be one of these 4 here. Describe the pertinent facts and the legal points of the case. Okay, so you did that back in Module 4. And describe who is involved and where the case took place. So what you want to do now is go back and look at your Module 4 submission, any feedback I gave you. And what you're going to do now is you're going to enhance that initial response and maybe polish it up and correct any grammatical errors and things like that. Okay? The second thing you're going to do is describe at least one main issue in the case that the media focused on. So, in some cases, for example, in Dominic Cinelli, the issue was the parole board, correct? So that's going to be, in that case, that was the main focus of the media, was on the parole board. Each of these other cases has a unique perspective in which the media focused on. And that's what you're going to go back and take a look at. For item number 3, you're going to describe how the media questioned the roles and actions of the criminal justice professionals. So whether it be in the George Zimmerman case, for example, there was some question about the police initial response and how the police weren't too enthused, for lack of a better word, in terms of seeking prosecution. The issue became whether or not George Zimmerman's case fell within the stand your ground laws of Florida. And so there was an array of issues that the media had raised and questioned. Also about George Zimmerman himself and whether or not the actions were racially motivated and the whole idea of this use of force. Okay, so that's what you're looking at here in terms of what the media questioned in terms of the roles and actions of criminal justice professionals. And then there are some subsets, so make sure you address each of those. And then finally, you're going to explain if and how criminal justice practices have adapted as a result of the media's involvement in the case. And so that was pretty clear in the Cinelli case and the Horton case, because these are both out of Massachusetts and dealt with the parole board. And so the finding were that in terms of the Massachusetts parole board is that even today they are not as likely to release certain people on parole because of the backlash that they received in the Horton case and the Zimmerman case. All right, but each of these cases has some aspect to it and the media's influence and how things might have changed as a result of that. Okay, and so then you answer the basic questions below. And then finally, how the media may have influenced the public's perception, and you did that previously. All right, so many of these you've already done. Some of these you may not have. Some of these questions are new, but nothing too difficult that I don't think you can handle in terms of your previous research, because a lot of that research you can apply here. So it's really nothing all that new. You may just have to dig a little bit deeper in terms of finding some specific issues or questions to some of the, or answers to some of these questions. Okay, and so what to submit now? The template is optional, but I always encourage the template because it can serve as a good guideline and outline so you don't forget certain things. If not, what I would do is I would use this as my outline, a brief summary of criminal case, my response, one of the main issues in the case that the media focused on, my response, how the media questioned the roles and actions of criminal justice professionals, my response, things like that. So you can use headings if you want, or clearly delineate when you move from one critical element to the next, and you can do that by your introductory sentence so that I know you're moving from one critical element to the next, all right? So again, if you can use the template, I just think it's a good idea. It's there, and it should help you stay focused and keep on track. Remember to use APA style, that you should be using some level of research in terms of these your assignment, right? And here's some other supporting resources for you. The Project 3 template Word document, and case resources in PDF in case you need to look for more information on your particular case. But most of you, as I recall, did a really good job in your first assignment, and you did some really good research. So you just want to try to enhance that initial response just a little bit, all right? So again, pay attention to the word count, stay focused on the critical elements and the subsets, and I think you'll be just fine. And I think that's it. So it's a really pretty straightforward assignment. Not a whole lot of new information here. Again, it's stuff that you've previously looked at and researched in Module 4. That's it. If you have any questions about this assignment, please don't hesitate to let me know. Otherwise, have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you in Brightspace.